Hello, welcome back to my channel. I am recording again from my new office. It's really kind of exciting because the last couple of days, as I've been anchoring my energy in here, it is becoming very realized by me that I actually have an office in my home. I've never had that before. Most of the time, if I was recording from my living room area, and that's where you saw most of my videos coming from. And then if I was doing my classes, or sometimes I had something come in the evening and I wanted to get it out, but my friend Beth, who shares the house with me, was home. I didn't want to be in her space doing that. So I would record from my bedroom. And so I never had like a traditional home office kind of thing, but in this house I do, and that's pretty exciting. What you're seeing behind me is actually my art desk. The back of the chair hides it, so you can't see the lower part of the desk, but you're seeing on that corner some of my art supplies, and then there's even more over this way. I will probably make a tour of the office so that you could see where I'm sitting, and it dispels any of the curiosity this way. You have an idea of what is in my reality, because I know sometimes when I watch somebody making a video, I'm looking at the background going like, oh, what's that over there? Oh, what's that over there? I don't want to use one of those filters. I just want to be as transparent as possible, that, I don't have like an elaborate setup, right? In the past, I sat in my living room recording for all of you, and that's where you saw me making the videos. And then probably the other day when I was making the videos, I think I was sitting at the desk behind me, which is my art desk, and I was focused back in this way. But I kind of like this flow better because right here to the side in front of me is a small window, and I actually have a cat hammock on it, and my cat Bella's hanging out in the window watching the birds. So hopefully she doesn't get too excited watching them and then jump out and crash down on me. And then over this way is a closet space, and that has some more art supplies and tools and stuff like that. And then that over there is the doorway out up here. And when the doorway is open, I am home alone. And if that door is closed, you know that I'm working in my office with the door closed, because probably Beth is home, and this way gives us both space and privacy, so she doesn't have to listen to me, and I'm not impacting her reality in any way, shape, or form. So this is where I am. I am in the new office, and it is so exciting to finally have an office. It kind of hit me yesterday. I was like, oh my goodness, I finally have an office for everything. I have an office for the art, I have an office for the business, and I have a place to go in my home. It was very challenging many times to be sitting in my living space or in my bedroom, making a video or doing work or even painting, doing any kind of art, because you're kind of commingling spaces, right? My bedroom is really my light pod, where I go to recharge my body, my light body, and it holds my energy. And so it was very challenging at times to go there and try and paint something, because I would be distracted by the bed and actually wanting to lay down and take a nap, because the codes were high, and I couldn't tap into my creator state, because trying to separate the visual of like, well, the bed is right there. I could just lay down for 5 minutes and just take a nap and then feel recharged. And that never happened. I would lay down to take a nap and I'd be out for like an hour and go like, where the heck did the time go? Right. But the body requires that. Now I find myself able to really more easily sustain my working stasis, right, where I'm able to stay in my flow a lot easier, because I have a new space, and in this new space, it contains my energy field again in kind of a different way, right? In the work way. So I'm putting my intention, my focus here. And so it's holding my vibration in a different way than my bedroom does, which is where I go to recharge. We all go to recharge. It's not just me. The bedroom is everybody's light pod, right? So we all go into the bedroom, we recharge our light body during sleep time, and then we're off and ready to go again. And for those of you who are like me, I mean, I've been wanting to do the napping thing for, I don't know, many, many years, probably since 2013 or 2014. And I just let myself have the downtime that's necessary. Even if I feel like I want to go out and do something or go somewhere, I may decline that just because I know I need to be home and I can't be out because my body is needing to upgrade. It's needing to go through something. So hopefully that helps those of you out there who might be going through the same thing. But this is where I am. So welcome to my new office space. I'm very excited for this office. And as I mentioned, it's a whole new vibe, and I am really in flow with what is taking place around me, and especially work and art. Okay, so that is really exciting to me, that I'm not like pulling in the energy of the whole home, and then it's very confusing, and I feel like I have ADD or ADHD because I can't figure out what I want to do or what direction I want to go into because I'm in the field of the whole entire house. Okay, so for those of you that work from home or maybe haven't dedicated a space for just office space and you're feeling that way, know that that's what it's, because it's what it's due to, because you're in the midst of the house and it's like you're tuned into every essence of it. Because like I mentioned in my prior video, the house has a soul. And so you're not just connecting with the soul of the house or the consciousness of the house, you're also connecting with all of the elements of the house. Like the desk that I'm on has a consciousness, and the computer is a consciousness, and my thermal mug is a consciousness, and the walls and everything, right? So everything's a consciousness. So we're interacting with all of that. So having this office space has just made it easier for me to kind of, focus myself in a more streamlined direction, if you will. Now, I did have something that I wanted to talk about. It wasn't that, but I just wanted to share that in my complete transparency, because I'm always wanting you to know what is taking place with me. But I left myself a note and I didn't see it till now. And I was like, oh goodness. So I wrote this note, I guess right after I made the other video. It was a couple days ago, but I've had a lot of work, a lot of sessions, and then my online community. So by the time I saw this again, it was just now, right? And I just finished my work day, and the note says, do a video about being present. When we are really present, we are nowhere but here, and what that feels like. And I read it for a second and I was like, what did I mean? Like, what was I trying to convey? And then it slowly came back in. So I want to share that with you. Because a lot of times I'll be asked about things that I'll say in videos, and one of those things happens to be, why isn't it okay for me to, go on Twitter and just scroll through and see what's going on in, in the government or in the banking or here or there, whatever. And or on any other social media platform. I find Instagram to be the best. However, lately I am noticing that there's more of the third dimensional stuff deconstructing through Instagram as well. So you really want to limit your time that you're spending on social media. And the reason for that is, and the reason that I say tune out of it, don't pay attention to it, because it is imploding, it's deconstructing. It doesn't need our focus. We need to hold the higher timeline. We need to hold the light. We need to hold the frequency so that others can shift, others can find their way through the frequency that we hold. And when I say don't give your intention to it, is because when we do that, we entangle that field, which happens to be 3D, 4D, within our own field. And then it kind of muddies up our field, and we are not free to, to continue to ascend our consciousness into the higher elevated states, because we're going to have a niggling in the back of our head, in the back of our mind, going, oh, did you see that on this? Should I worry about that? Do I have to be worried? Or you might see something that made you angry and go, yeah, that really frustrated me. That really made me, all right, I got to focus on work now. But that's in the background. It's poking you, it's triggering you. And you're like, oh, I got to focus on that, right? And that's how it's going to be. So we don't have to look there. We don't have to focus there, because when we do, we're into playing in that reality, and we're not in the higher timeline, right? You might think, oh, I could take a peek. I could be okay with that. But if there's anything going on within your mind that is niggling at you, right, that has your attention and pulls you there, like the election coming up, then you should not pay attention at all and retrain yourself, right? Retrain your thinking mind, your thinking mind to be in charge, to be thoughtful of the thoughts that you are having, as opposed to allowing your emotional body to run the show, because that's what's happened to us. We allow our emotional body to run the show, and the emotional body, as I've talked about many times, contains the heart field, and the heart field is magnetic, and that magnetic heart field just magnetizes things to us, even the things we do not want, right? We can't help but keep bringing them back because we're so emotional to them. But it requires us taking our thinking mind and being more thoughtful with the things that we're thinking, in order to counteract the feelings that we're having, because those feelings are not real. Okay. And I talk about this in many of my older videos. All right. But I want to bring this through because this is so incredibly important to everybody right now, because these frequencies are through the roof. The light quotients are higher than they've ever been. I know so many people out there are still expecting this solar flash event or whatever event it's going to be, but it's not that. It's just the level of light coming in. Everybody is going to experience this in their own way. And I'm going to tell you why, and then I'm going to talk about why it's important to be present, okay? The reason why we have to pull away from all of those narratives is because we're all experiencing this reality in our own way. And if you could imagine yourself in a bubble, a quantum sphere, a container, a field, if you will, and that field is a projection of consciousness, and then in that field, what is projecting onto the field are little vignettes or little segments of realities, or timelines, they used to be called, right? And they're projecting, and it's like when you look through a viewfinder and you click the viewfinder, and then it goes to the next film, right? I forget what they call those. And you're clicking the viewfinder, and it goes to the next one, and the negatives or whatever it is, right? And you're able to look at the picture, and it's a little negative in a square, and it's on a viewfinder, and you're clicking and you're clicking and you're clicking, and then you get one that you really like, and you're like, oh, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to look at this for a minute, right? Well, we're operating the same way. It's just that the reality feels so real for us that we don't perceive ourselves in our own bubble of our own universe, in our own quantum field, making choices that are on the outer wall of our quantum field, that are these little segments or timelines or vignettes that we then choose. Okay. But this is how it is, and this is the reality of it. And it was validated or verified by my friend Beth, who had an experience recently being in this house. The vibration here is incredibly high. It's amazing. I love it. I feel very floaty all the time. And so she woke up the other morning and she said, I have to ask you something because I had this experience waking up, and it was very unnerving. And she said, I felt like I was in a universe, all just me, all alone, just me, nothing else. And she said, and I kept seeing these shapes and patterns and what looked like little movie flashes and whatnot. And she's like, and I didn't really fully understand it, but it was like I was awake, but I wasn't awake, and I was here, but I wasn't here, and I was in this field or something. I was the only one in the field. There was nothing else. And I said, yeah, you were in your quantum field. And that's what it's like. And those little shapes that you were encountering with sacred geometry, okay, that was the sacred geometrics that we make up, that make us up. Okay, we are made up of sacred geometrics. And those little flashes of movies were the little vignettes or the segments or the timelines that you could choose that are the realities that play out, right? And then it projects, and you've heard me talk about this, guys, you've heard me talk about this, that, you know, the crown is like the third eye is the bulb, or where the projection of the movie comes out, right? The crown is open, like the light of the projector receiving the light of the sun, and the sun shines down into our crown, and then we're choosing within our mind, right? It works in this whole quantum way, in a very metaphysical way, what reality we want to see. And 99.99999 infinity times percent, we are choosing it based on our emotions. We're not choosing it based on our thoughtfulness about what we'd like to experience or what we'd like to see. We're doing it unconsciously, subconsciously, through our emotional body. And that's why we'll get situations in our life that we don't actually love, right? Or maybe sometimes we would choose not to have that, but that's how it works. So she experienced that for herself, and she's heard me talk about it many times, but couldn't put the two together because it didn't seem real. It didn't seem possible. Could everything be that way? Could it really be that is the reality that we're here experiencing? This is a projection of consciousness. As the sun comes through the crown, it lights up the movie that we're choosing to experience, that gets projected through the third eye and the physical eyes out onto the movie screen. That is Gaia. Yeah, that's how it works. So everything in our reality is a projection, a holographic projection of our belief system, of our thoughts, of our emotions. And it's all emotions because the emotional field is magnetic. Okay. But what I want to talk to you about is in how we're creating our experience, or how we're creating this reality, right? And so one of the most important things for us to do right now, especially right now with these shifting energies and the fact that these energies are becoming higher and more intensified, and we're feeling them more and more and more, is that we stay present as possible, so that when our attention is called back to something from the past, we're reminding ourselves that has no factor, it has no bearing, because as an ascended soul, as an ascended being, our consciousness is aligned with our higher self, future self, and everything that is expanded beyond our awareness in this physical body, in this physical reality that we think we're experiencing. And with a consciousness that is expanded in that way, and the soul assisting and supporting our personality, right? The personality here is Maria, right? And for you, it's whoever you are. But in that way, the soul is supporting the personality. And so if the personality is not conscious of what they're choosing, then they're going to have a hodgepodge of mixed bag of whatever is taking place in their reality, because their thoughts and their words and their actions are all kind of all over the place. And then their reality is going to be just like that too, with whatever showing up, right? The good, the bad, and the ugly. But when we're conscious and we're recognizing that we don't need anything outside of this present moment now, being in this moment now, then we recognize that we don't need anything from the past. The past has nothing. It doesn't hold anything for us. It's memories. It's not even tangible to us here and holds absolutely no value, because if we say, but I have to remember that. No, we don't, because everything that we need to know right now is coming from a higher conscious source within us, right? We don't need to remember anything because it's all just now. It's right here now in our present state of being, right in this moment now. Whatever we need will show up for us. All we have to do is be as present as possible. I already showed you how this house came back around for me, because what is meant for you will never, ever miss you. It will always find you. There is no chance of it missing you, but you have to stay as present as possible for it, and then it will show up easy peasy for you. It is only when we are distracted heading into the past or heading into the future that we're going to miss what is in our highest best interest now, right? It's like your quantum field, your soul, at your blueprint, at the pre-birth planning of your blueprint, of the soul blueprint that you carry, factored in everything that you would need. It already did that. It's already taken care of that. All you have to do is keep raising your vibration to hit those levels. And as you're raising your vibration, it brings me back to this visual I have of Willy Wonka. And in Willy Wonka, Charlie is drinking this magical potion with his grandpa, and all of a sudden they start floating, and they are floating all the way up to the ceiling, right? It's the same thing. When we're in present moment, we're floating higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, and floating all the way up, right up to the ceiling, right? And that ceiling that we're floating up to is the quantum field. And being so close to the quantum field, we're just poking it and poke it enough, and then something magical falls out of it. That's how it works, right? And so again, like this house, it required me letting go of everything. It required me letting go of the fear that I wasn't going to find anything. I literally had 3 weeks until my lease was up and had to go. And I just had to hold a tremendous amount of faith that it was already there. The house was already there. I didn't have to figure it out. I didn't have to find it. I just had to let go. I had to stop thinking about the past and stop thinking about the future, and just stay as present as I possibly can. And when we're creating in the present state, there is nothing else. When we're so present and we're focused on what we're doing right here, right now, and we're not focused on 5 minutes from now, an hour from now, 10 minutes from now, a year from now, we're not focused on anything. There is such harmony and peace that goes through your field, that goes through your body, that you could not even possibly imagine how that feels. Not only could you not imagine how it feels, I'm going to tell you that outer reality that holds the distortion of the government garbage, of the COVID garbage, of all of the other stuff that we don't want to interplay in, right? Of the deconstruction of the school systems, of this whole, gas crisis, of the food crisis and all that. When you let go of all of that, it does not exist in your reality. The only reason it exists in your reality is because you keep bringing it in, you keep focusing on it. And the law of attraction says, if you focus on that, you're going to get more of that, because the universe doesn't understand words. It doesn't understand when you say, I do not like that I have to pay more for gas. I don't want to have to pay more for gas, universe. I want this fixed. I want this fixed. The universe doesn't understand that, right? It only understands the energy. So that energy is contentious energy. It is resistant energy. It is energy efforting at what you don't like or what you don't want, right? And then all of a sudden, the gas prices start going up in your reality. If we settle back and we decide that it doesn't matter what the gas cost because we're going to have plenty of money to pay it. It doesn't matter what the gas costs. Universe, it doesn't matter what the gas costs because I know I'm going to have plenty of money to pay it. That's a good feeling thought. That's a really good feeling thought. And guess what? That good feeling thought going out to the universe is going to send me back good energy, positive energy, and lots of money because it's going to send me back what I need in order to pay that gas price because I am not in resistance. I am not creating any tension. I am in flow with what is. It is. I can't do anything about it. I'm going to embrace it, accept it, and know that it would not be happening to me if my universe wasn't equipped to handle it, right? So when we're present in our state of being, we're raising our vibration. We're raising our vibration to meet these new light quotients. We're raising our vibration to step up into new realms, new realities, right? Which can shift on a dime now because it's no longer having to wait or look for a timeline. It's a bazillion potentials. I mean, so many potentials that your head would explode if you saw what's happening out there, right? The reality of it is this realm shift is so freaking huge that we forget about trying to figure it out or make a decision on what direction you want to go in. Forget that. Just keep being as happy as you possibly can, making yourself as happy as you possibly can, letting go of the things that don't serve you, letting go of the things that don't matter to you, because in doing that, so your universe says, oh, here's the something new that you've been waiting for that's going to come in. And all of a sudden it goes and gets taken out. And then the universe goes, wait, this is better. Oh, no, wait, this is better. Oh, no, you're shifting again. Oh, no, this is better. This is better. This is better. You want this one. Take this one. This is better. Look what we're sending you. This is better. That's how it works, because the potential for something amazing is infinite. It's not restrictive anymore, right? It used to be restrictive, and we used to have to focus, and we used to have to work at that which we desired. We used to have to hold on tight to that good feeling moment. Well, all we have to do now is keep raising our vibration and keep that good feeling moment going forward, right? Beyond that pathway to more good feeling moments. And when we forget ourselves that we're not feeling good in that moment, we simply tap ourselves on the shoulder and help ourselves get back on track and say, oh, no, 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 no. We don't want to feel this way, right? We're kind of mad because somebody did something and we don't like what they did. And now we're creating a negative effect on our field. We're creating a negative effect in our reality. Let's tune into gratitude. Let's tune into appreciation, because when we hold gratitude and appreciation, those are the two highest values, and we can flip that negative field spin into a positive state of being. We amplify our state of being. We amplify our vibration. Okay, that's how we do it. It's not rocket science. We have to apply ourselves, though. Okay, and so my wish is that you found a nugget in the information I shared today, because this is how we do it. Okay. There is no other way. This is it. When you look at the law of vibration, the law of one, the law of cause and effect, the law of polarity, the law of attraction, and all the rest of the universal laws, every one of them comes back to holding ourselves in the highest vibrational state we possibly can, so that everything that we're desiring can show up for us. Now, obviously, if you're desiring stuff that's not good, then you're going to attract that too, right? But I'm talking to my ninth dimensional family here, you guys, okay? And I know all of you are wanting the best of the best. I want the best of the best for you, okay? This is how we do it. So find your little nugget in here. Listen to this as many times as it takes for it to help you align. Let go of the outer reality. We don't need to focus there. We don't need to look there. Okay. I know the election is coming up, but we don't need it. We don't need to play in it. That's old 3D distortion. 5D, there's no elections. Everything is one. It's a unified field. It's unity consciousness. Okay. We're not fighting in 5D. Everything has love and harmony. And when you hold that in your field, you're amplifying that throughout the cosmos. And because the earth is part of the cosmic experience, every individual, every soul on the planet, including the planetary consciousness of Gaia, is receiving that light that you are transmitting out of your field. So please, if you do anything going forward, these next couple of weeks, which are going to feel intensified, make sure that you are consistently coming back into a higher aligned vibration of love and compassion, mostly for yourself. In the moments where you get frustrated with something that's outside of your control, and bring yourself back into alignment. Do not let your emotions get away from you, because that's all what we are clearing from our field, right? Keep reminding yourself, I am a co-creator with my universe, and it's up to me how I create my reality. It's up to me what I see in the holographic projection back at me, okay? And everything is going to show up for you, to help you, to assist you, to support you, okay? So thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said, this was very impromptu on my part. It's just that I found my note and I'm like, let me do this before I completely forget, because I touched the paper and it came flashing back to me what I had wanted to offer you. So know that I love you so very, very much. I wish you a wonderful whatever it is that you are doing, and I look forward to seeing you back here again real soon. I love you so much. See you soon.